Imagine a tool that can capture anything on your computer screen through either a picture or through a 5-minute or less video. You're looking for things on Thomas Jefferson as an example, and you find some quotes that you'd like to display. So for the next day, so you could take a picture of them. The students have or are writing paragraphs on a biography of someone, and you'd like them to take a closer look and create a word cloud. So you have the tool Wordle to do that, but you want to teach them how to use it and what you'll be expecting out of it. So you can walk them through that with a video. Or your students have written up a biography, and from that you'd like to make comments. Now, it is true you could insert a comment. There's nothing hard about that, and you could write it, but so often with comments like that, it's hard to get across what you're trying to say. But now you could write a comment, and you could also speak and tell them through audio, through in what you were looking at and what changes you wanted and why, so that they could understand it and send that little video to them. These are just some of the many possibilities that you could do using Jing. Now, how do you get Jing? Let's get started. First of all, you're going to go to techsmith.com. If you can't remember that, the easiest way is to Google Jing, J-I-N-G, and it's going to come up very quickly because it is used so much. And there you find it, and you can go right where I was in the first place, to TechSmith. Now from there, you can choose the free version, and you have a choice. It will work either with Windows or for a Mac, and you can then download that version and install it onto your computer. Once you've installed it, you will find either an icon at the top or a little sun on the side, and I will show you that in a second. You need to set up your preferences. So you will have to sign up for a free account with Screencast, because that is where you will save everything if you don't save it on your computer itself. And so you go to Preferences and you set up your account. The other thing you can set up is what I have here is use menu bar instead of sun. If I unchoose that, then you see just this slight little sun over here, and it pops out and does the same thing as you can see what I have here. So you can do either one. I myself, I like the icon at the top. It's easier to get to. So once you've set all that up, you are ready to begin. To close this, hit done. So now let's take a look how to use Jing. Take a look at how I would take a picture of something and what I could do with it. So I'm going to go up to my Jing, and I'm going to say I want to capture something. And notice what's happened. It's asking, do you want the whole screen or do you want part of it? In this case, I just want a couple of these things. So I'm going to start in the upper left-hand corner, and I'm going to show that this is what I want to work with. Now with that, I now have choices. If I don't like what I've done, I can cancel it and do it again. I can redo selection. So, okay, I say, didn't like that. I didn't get all of it. I think I want that one too. So I can go back and pick that up and make a quick change. I can capture a video, or I can capture an image. And as I said, we're going to work on images right now. So let's take a look at this. So I'm going to choose Capture an Image. Now I can give it a different name other than what they give it. I could just write in there quotes. And from there, though, I can highlight some things. I have several objects I can use. I could use an arrow. Say I want to highlight certain words to point out. So I can point out and put an arrow on there with ease. And I can also move the arrow around, shorten it up. I could add some text if I wanted to say something about it. I could frame it, so I'm going to frame this word. Really want to bring that out. Or I can highlight something and I can change the color. There's different colors. But if I want to highlight, I go underneath it and then there I've highlighted. So these are things that I've set up on the picture. And so then once I'm done doing whatever I want, and I have to undo, if I didn't like that highlight, I can take it away. I can go all the way back if I want to whatever I did. I can take it away, or I can redo and say, oh, I didn't want to go that far. Put it all back. So you have undo and redo buttons. So now I'm ready to either send it to screencast.com. That'll save it, and it'll give me a link to it. Or I could save it to my desktop. I could copy it. So save. I can even put it on Twitter if I wanted to. Or if I choose not to do any of this, I can hit cancel. So in this case, I'm going to hit save to my desktop. And it's asking that. And it actually saves it that if I pasted, it would give me the file path to where it is. At this point, you can see it down here. If I open it, there's the picture. And so I can open this bigger, and the next day I can show it up on the screen for the students, and we can talk about it and what I was trying to get across in this lesson. So that's how you would take a picture. Now let's talk about how to make a video. Again, Jing is free, so it only allows you to make a video that's no longer than 5 minutes. If you wanted something bigger, you would, TechSmith makes a larger program called Camtasia Studio that costs $99 but does a lot more. So right now we're looking at Jing and all its possibilities that are free. So how do you make a video? Well, say you wanted to explain to your students, like I talked about before, how to use Wordle and what your expectations are. So again, we would go up to here to Jing and say I want to capture. And the best thing is probably not to show all of the top of the browser, so we're going to just close in on this. And we're saying, okay, this is the part I want. And again, just like before, you have, oh, I just don't like that, or I can redo the selection. There's the picture. Now we're going to hit capture a video. As you can see, it's beginning. So I can begin to take a video and I can talk about what I'm going to do. So I walk them through and I say, okay, I want to hit create. And students, here you're going to paste in your paragraphs that you wrote on that biography. And so you copy something like that, and then you hit go. And out of it, it will create a word cloud. And when you're done recording, you can pause it. So if you wanted to stop, and especially if you run into something like this where Wordle isn't coming up very fast, and then resume, you can do that. You can hit finish recording. Say you don't want them to hear you, just see the picture. You can mute the microphone. You could restart the whole recording. So you can redo this whole thing or say forget it. Don't want to do this at all. Once you're done with the recording, you would hit finish recording. And it's going to come up with a preview so you can see what it is. You could rename it. So we could change that to Wordle. So as you can see, you can preview it all if you like it. Then you have choices. You could embed it. You could, again, save it to your desktop and demonstrate it on the screen the next day. Or you could send it to your screencast.com account, which is free, and then it's available for students to use anytime. And you can also still demonstrate it the next day up before the class so they can see it. So these are the choices in how you would do a video. So as you can see, Jing is a powerful tool. Again, to sum up the possibilities here, you can take a picture of anything. You can take a movie. Going back to the other example I had talked about was we could capture you working through with a student on their writing, and you could just talk about their paragraph here and examples. And again, if 5 minutes isn't enough, you make a second video. So you go right through here, and much easier for a student to hear when you talk about, well, I've highlighted this, let me talk about your wording and your sentence structure here. They're going to understand it a lot more than trying to figure out how to put that down in a few sentences. So that's how Jing works. I think you'll find it a great tool to enhance learning for the students.